Welcome in. Welcome back. There it is. There it is. We are back with you, and it is a very unique night for Monday Night Raw. Not only is it game week, Mike, but we have some big announcements to make about this Patreon and YouTube and everything else we're doing. I have never been this excited for a Monday Night Raw, including even like in last season. This hits different, and I'm really excited.
You know, part of the platform over here, we kind of get into our feelings a little bit, what you're feeling, anxiety, whatever is the case. John, your boy doesn't get nervous. I'm a little nervous. Like my hands are a little moist. You know, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. So yeah, super excited, slightly nervous.
Yeah, it is. And I feel you on that. This has a very, very different feel. Welcome to everybody. We got 53 people in here already.
Amazing.
That's amazing, you guys. We had 50-something people in here already. Thanks to everybody for being here. This is different, Mike. This is a different, it's a different era. And what we're doing here is about to take a big turn. It's going to take a big turn. And we want to give the people more of what they want. We want to give them everything they want, be able to hit everything a Notre Dame fan could possibly want to learn about, see about, talk about, know about. And that's how we started this. And what we're going to go over today is the next iteration of this thing growing and becoming something else.
Yeah, and I think to add to that in terms of a lot of the ideas that we'll announce tonight, a lot of some of the personnel changes, additions, we'll kind of detail out the menu behind the paywall. But most importantly, it's like your subscribers, you're not talking at them, John. We're talking with them, whether it's like the running chat, which is 24/7. It's like a text chain with your buddies. So it's been a lot of fun. We've had a lot of ideas, dozens and dozens of ideas thrown at us. And this is our best attempt to give folks, really what they're looking for.
Yeah, it is. And we're doing the content and we're doing, the shows or whatever. But I got to mention the fans. This is the only reason any of this is built and is building and is what it is. It's the engagement, the people that want to be a part of it, the people that want to help out with it, like all of it. It is the most beautiful thing there is because everybody here, look, we got some guesses in the chat of where this may be going. Some of you may be onto something. Stay tuned and maybe you'll find out. Some of you guys are pretty clever. But it really is it's an organic, non-corporate Notre Dame feel that we have here. Genuine. Like everybody's bought in for the right reasons. It's a beautiful thing and it energizes my Notre Dame soul.
Yeah. It's and I've taken to calling it the pirate ship, where it's sort of we kind of swim a little bit upstream, do things a little bit differently, don't necessarily fall in line with, I started calling it like corporate gruel. And you and I got a little bit into the weeds. We filmed an episode last Friday, a few days ago, just kind of a quick look back at your and I's relationship and how we started to really grow this thing. And it's okay to be proud of it. And, a big reason of me leaving on 3 was I wasn't proud of it. It felt like it was average and I never wanted to be average. And we took a little risk, kind of went out on our own on a funny app that people aren't incredibly familiar with, Patreon, right? It's not YouTube, right? It's an interesting thing being an ex-player and having that player DNA. If the right kind of coach has the right kind of messaging, John, it still freaking resonates with me. And I was thinking about this all day leading up to this show, the risk that we took trying to build this thing, 2 idiots in our basement, the basement boys. And it's like, we trusted without knowing. And how many times have you heard Coach Freeman talk about trust without knowing? And that's exactly what we did. And yeah, like I said, the right coach with the right messaging still resonates with a player DNA. And we're kind of putting our money where our mouth is, as it were.
Yeah, I think that's very the cellar dwellers. Yeah, we've had a lot of late night basement conversations. And it's and you know what else I'm a believer in, Mike, and I've been this way since starting YouTube nine seasons ago now. If you do things genuinely and you put that energy out, people will feel that. And eventually it may take a while, but they'll gravitate to it and they'll feel that it's real. And even if you're wrong, if they know you genuinely mean it, it's coming from a real place, that'll hit with people. And I feel that. And I think that's why a lot of people want to be viewers here. And I also think that that's why some people maybe want to do some work with us and some content with us and have some freedom to spread their wings and do what they want to do the way they want to do it and have some runway there and really lean into what they love about all this Notre Dame coverage. And it's just a beautiful social experiment.
Yeah, and as the team expands, we've got some announcements tonight, and it's important to note we're not done. So as the team expands, if you have ideas for the new teammates, feel free to share. Feel free to share. And I think the one thing, too, that can't be understated is that the team we're putting in front of you, the tie that binds us all together is we're all fans. That matters. When you talk about that, how to resonate with people and the levels of authenticity, it's unique, I think, to this particular platform medium.
Yeah, it is. And you know, even when we differ on things and we disagree on what's going on or whatever, there's that through line. We all want the same result. It always cracks me up, even when we bicker, like, you know, like family members at the dinner table or whatever, and we disagree on how to get there. It really is a beautiful thing because we all have the same finish line in mind. It's just a matter of how we're going to get there. It's like one big Irish family, so to speak.
Yeah. Naturally, slightly dysfunctional. Absolutely. So, yeah. John, do we want to kick this off?
Yeah, let's kick this off. And so what we're going to do, you guys, is we're going to bump in our new teammates. Some of them you know before, some of them are going to be new. We're going to bump them in, talk to them for a couple minutes. And then when we do the introductions, we'll get into how this is going to translate into content so that you know what you can expect from the Patreon and the Always Irish YouTube, because things are going to change. And when I say things are going to change, I mean, we're going to have more of what you want all over the place. Patreon, YouTube, you're going to get more of the stuff you want with this Notre Dame coverage. So we thought it would be fun to bump in our team members, chat with them about their role and what they're excited about with the season, and kind of introduce everybody. And we have a lot of new Patreon people. We want you guys to get a hang of how we do things here. The Monday Night Raw format. We want everybody to get comfortable. We got a lot of new people. And so we want to just integrate everybody into this. The contributors, the new subscribers, everybody. So I guess we'll just get right into it. And so we're going to kind of go by the order that folks have joined us. And so first up is going to be, it is Coach Jared Clark. What's up, Jared?
What's up, fellas? How we doing?
Jared. So for those that don't know, new subscribers, potential subscribers, Jared and I have now been teammates for 25 years, right? So Jared and I were in the same recruiting class. Jared was a quarterback turned tight end, actually was coached by your current offensive coordinator, Mike Denbrock. And now he's a dude, John, big time high school head football coach, Cardinal Mooney down there in Florida. So Jared, how excited are you for the season, brother?
Yeah, man, I can't wait. CJ Carr got the nod, huh?
Yeah.
I'm excited, you know, breaking down the film last year, and I think Denbrock was a little handcuffed with just Riley Leonard's inability to process things. And I think, you know, the CJ Carr decision probably had a lot to do with that, because I think, like you guys have talked about it a ton, he's a cerebral guy. He's come from a, you know, football royalty. The kid knows football. So I think I'm excited to see what they do offensively. I think they'll be able to open it up a little more.
Yeah. So just to again, for those that don't know, so it's almost like your position on the team, point guard, small forward, whatever. So Jared's role here on the team does quite frankly, a really, really, really strong job doing the film breakdown on the offensive side of the ball. So every single play. And John, I had that concept through that Sam Hartman experiment where there's so much infighting in the fan base. Who's open? Who missed their block? Was it a crummy play call? And it's like, man, Jared, the eye in the sky doesn't lie. So let's just break this thing down so we can get the actual truth versus somebody's interpretation of what took place. Watch the film with us. Go into you're going to win the water cooler conversation Monday morning. Put it that way.
Well, this all kind of started because you and I would have these conversations after games all the time.
When Coach Reese was calling plays.
Yeah. It's hard to see on the TV copy. It's just hard to see all of it, right? The all 22 that we get, you can see every player on the field and you can see exactly what they're trying to do. We got the press box copy and the end zone copy. So you can really break it down and see what they were trying to do. Did he miss the throw? Did he miss the read? Was it a bad call? All those questions that we used to. I'm excited about this, especially last year, because I wanted to answer these questions. I wanted to know the answer to these questions, right? I want to know what was going on. So, and then you and I started talking like, what if we did a show like that? We just broke down the film. I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's very informative too.
Super informative. Yeah, people love it. People love it. I mean, if you're a junkie, if you can't get enough, it's right up your alley, John.
I'm telling you, it cracks me up. The late nights that we have, it's a riot, dude. Jared will be like, I want to do this film. Set it up for me, John. I set it up. It's 1:45 in the morning. I come down, I check, and Jared's still going at it, breaking it all down. It's 2 in the morning, and Jared's breaking it down. Like, that level of dedication to the film is something that I genuinely respect the hell out of. And it's a riot. I can hear him from upstairs even breaking it all down. It's like 1:45. I love the dedication. And everybody's got to understand, Jared is in his own season. So he's got his own team to prepare for and do all the high school stuff. And then he's finding time late at night to do the Notre Dame stuff. Like, you're double dipping, Jared. That's a lot, brother.
Yeah, we got a tough schedule this year too. We got a big one this week. You guys say a prayer for us,
dude. I don't want to get too into it, Jared, but they're flying teams in from all over the country because nobody wants to play Cardinal Mooney all of a sudden. But John, to your point about the work, what's the expression? Like, when you love it, it's not work, right? And I hope to get some more ex-players, just involved kind of in the mix, because it snaps you right back to your experience as a player sitting in that film room. Just this time around, Jared, we're not getting our butts chewed out, right?
No.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, looking forward to it, dude. I'll get you the film, Monday. And I think for fans, once we roll through our roster, we'll kind of just give you a menu of what the offerings are behind the paywall. But the film breakdown, that usually rolls out early in the week, like Monday, Tuesday-ish, once we can get it all edited and cut up and all that, right?
Yeah.
How do you think this Malachi kid's going to be, Goals? Is he going to be the real deal?
Oh, yeah. I mean, been saying it for a few weeks. I think either kid, what they picked, whether it was Kenny or Carr, are both going to give. It's something new for us Notre Dame fans. They're going to give these wideouts an opportunity to make plays. And I still think the focus of the defense is going to be on one Jeremiah Love. I think with a young quarterback, you're going to create some play action, easy, obvious throws. And he's just a beautiful – he's like a stallion out there. I mean, it's like create a player in Madden. You might – if it was create a player, you might have this kid might have 91 speed. You might want like 96 speed, but we'll take them. Absolutely.
But I remember going into last year, everybody was real high on the wideouts. And you were not. You're a very good evaluator of talent. Are you more high on the wideouts this year than last year?
Yeah, I think we did our preseason grades, and I think I gave him an A-. I bought it.
I'm way more. I mean, Faison, Great House, this Malachi kid. Who's the other transfer?
Will Pauling, who's named captain.
I was going to say, the kid speaks like he's the real deal. I'm
Oh
obviously
yeah.
play.
Yeah. I mean, the one head scratcher is it still feels like you at surface level, you have 3 slots ish in a Great House, Faison, and Pauling. I've heard
I
great
think
things
Great House
about,
can be outside. I think he can play outside. I think if phase on the Pauling kid will be inside.
quite frankly, I think sometimes these kids get too pigeonholed. Whereas
Yeah.
Fields, I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth. I think Fields is locked in as your boundary receiver, but I do think most the kids can play multiple roles, and they have in the past. But one kid that looks, when you're trying to get little snippets from the spring practice clip footage or the fall camp little practice footage, Micah Gilbert moves very well, and he's like a Malachi Fields light, 6'2", 210. He's going to be really good for us, and that's the big question mark is, who your starting 4 is, and I'm starting to get a sense of at least who who your 5 is, and that may be Micah Gilbert.
And don't forget about Reardon. I feel like he's gonna have a big year.
Sky's the limit, Jared.
And then you got a loaded running back room, but Jadarian Price and Jeremiah Love are elite in my opinion.
Yeah.
Hey,
EJ's
Jared,
got a lot of tools, man. Sorry, go ahead.
Jared, I got one thing I want to ask you before we cut you loose and bump in the next teammate here. You're an offensive guy, and I love hearing you think and speak about quarterbacks and how you work with them and learn them and what makes them click and all this stuff. Do you have any feel about Denbrock's going to try and integrate Carr in this environment at Miami? Do you think he'll be conservative, try and use the run game and Love to ease in? Or do you have a sense Denbrock's going to want to build Carr some confidence and give him some chances early to really show off that arm? Do you have any feel of how you would handle it, or maybe want Denbrock to?
Yeah, it's his first start. It's away. It's at Miami. It's going to be a hostile environment. So, in my opinion, Jeremiah Love and Price are your best friend. B, get him some easy completions early. I know that's easy to say, but phase on a little wide receiver screen. I think with this Malachi kid, I think they're going to have pre-snap gifts. If they got the backside hitch, take it. If it's press man with no safety help, throw him the fade. Get a couple easy completions. Throw a swing to Jeremiah Love out of the backfield, right? Get him into the game, and then stay out of third and long. Stay out of third and long for this kid. That would be my key.
Follow-up question, last one. Sorry. We've got guys waiting in the bullpen. My question is like third and short-ish. Like if it's 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, you don't have that battering ram and Riley Leonard. Load the box to stop a Love, to stop a Price. That's what I'm kind of interested to see. What is the play call mix, and is Carr as affected in the QB run game as maybe a Kenny Minchie would be? It's going to be really curious for me, those third and short to mediums.
Yeah, that's the big one, right? Because I don't think they're going to use him like Riley Leonard. Third and short was Riley Leonard's time, right? You're going to run quarterback something, whether it's counter or, whatever. And they were really good at that. You equate numbers and everybody gets blocked up and you got an extra hat. The thing, they're playing Miami. This is going to be a good team. This is going to be a big game. He's going to have to convert third and short a number of times in this game by throwing the football.
Yep.
How much confidence do they have in him? How effective is he going to be? How efficient is he going to be? Listen, if they're just lining up and running the ball and Jeremiah Love and Price are gashing them, that's beautiful. But that's probably not going to happen all game. So that's a huge question that's going to need to be answered in this game.
And it all comes down, Jared, as I send you off, love you, brother, is O-line play. So much of this hinges on O-line play.
Yep. Listen, man, as much as this game has changed, a lot of it's the same. If you can win the line of scrimmage, defense and offensive line, you're going to win a lot of games. Take care of the ball, win the line of scrimmage.
I love it. It's a beautiful thing. Jared, thanks so much for joining us, man. I know you want to get back to your own team's film and everything you got going on there at Cardinal Mooney. And you know what? On the way out, Jared, you know what I like doing? I like looking up articles about your high school program and reading how, like, not in the Notre Dame world, but from your local world there, and reading about, your growth there, coming back home and all that. It's a different way to learn about you and your career. It's been fun for me. I try and look it up and figure out what their what they're saying down there. And everybody's proud of you from Notre Dame land. This is going to be a great year. Can't wait to have you back, man. Thanks for coming back for year 2, man.
I'm excited, boys. And we got one of our guys coming up there next year. So that's exciting too.
Yeah. Elijah Golden's head coach as well. Yeah. Left that out.
It's a beautiful thing. Hey, Jared, thanks a lot, man. We'll be talking to you soon. Enjoy the next few days before Notre Dame stress really kicks in.
Can't wait, boys. You guys are doing an awesome job. I'm excited and proud to be a part of it, man.
Thanks, brother.
Thanks a lot, Jared. Have a good one. Oh, Coach Jared Clark, folks. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bump in our next teammate here. We got our whole roster here. We're going through and a surprise to come maybe later in the week too. It is ND Recruiting 01, Jack Sullivan, the recruiting savant. Jack, the way you are with this recruiting stuff, how do you find the time?
I still don't know. I'm pumped up listening to Jared. Anyone who was not around last season hasn't gotten a chance to listen to Jared and watch Jared break down film. Anyone who's familiar with like Dan Orlovsky from ESPN, Jared does it just as well, if not better. Like he's worth the price of admission alone. And then you have these podcasts with John and Mike, myself, and then, some special guests to be named later. But I'm pumped to be here. It's Miami week, 6 days away. Excited. Exciting times for the Patreon. It's a really good time in Notre Dame land.
And so Jared was our first quote unquote hire, very informal. Jack was somebody I reached out to, and we've been chatting for couple years. But yeah, truly Jack is an actual like encyclopedia of, and it's not just Notre Dame kids. You want to know about some kid that committed where maybe Notre Dame was in the mix? I'm blown away at the encyclopedic just knowledge, and I don't know where it comes from. I don't know how you retain it all, but the first time you jumped on with John and I was truly blown away. And then it's been very pivotal, Jack, in terms of like the promotion, helping us old guys out with some of the technology piece. I mean, a critical piece of the team. Thrilled to have you here, Jack. And then again, just in terms of Jack's responsibility and contributions to the show, random recruiting news. Jack will have, his little quick hits behind the paywall. And then he's going to be doing an amazing Friday night preview show for your upcoming opponent as well. And then just whatever. And again, it's kind of wide open back here. If you get a wild hair and you want to film something, put some content out, you're more than willing to. Jack, I know you've been like doing beyond like crazy research for the Miami game. Tell the fans, what does Jack Sullivan think? What are you looking forward to seeing? What makes you the most nervous, 6 days out?
I feel confident. I feel like 2 weeks ago I got nervous. 2 months ago I was extremely confident. I think I'm back at that confidence stage. This morning was a little scary just because I was going back to work, but at the same time I had to think about Miami all day. Like I need it to be Sunday. But I feel great about the game. My only worry is the quarterback position. If CJ Carr does decent, does all right, doesn't lose Notre Dame the game, I think, which I don't expect him to do. I think Notre Dame will come out on top. I think the most underrated part about Notre Dame, which is insane when you think about it, is the Notre Dame defense. Like, how is that group that was so elite last year not talked about as much nationally? Like, this group is going to be a top 5 unit in the country. I think that they're going to dominate Miami. I think Miami's offensive line is really good. I actually said last week that I think that their line is better than Notre Dame's. But I think that people are underrating Notre Dame's defensive line. Mike, you said, and I agree with you, that Notre Dame's defensive line might be better than Notre Dame's offensive line. I think that's being not talked about enough heading into this game. I think it's going to be a big factor in this front seven with the linebackers moving all around. I think there's a speed difference, which is wild to say when you're talking about South Bend, Indiana versus Miami, Florida. But I think Notre Dame's a much faster team. They're going to be physical with Marcus Freeman at the helm. Yeah, I'm pumped up.
Jack, the other thing with that defense that I've been thinking about and writing about a little bit this week with our defense is they're going to have the ability to rotate with what they think is no drop off. And that is something that Notre Dame has not had to this extent in the last like 30 years. A lot of times you would feel good about the starters, and a guy or two goes down and it's a clear weakness, and any team with a smart coaching staff would attack that area on Notre Dame. You're gonna have some depth here. And maybe that matters at a place like Miami, and it could be rainy and humid and hot. You'll be able to rotate guys and feel good. I like that. Mike, you got something?
Hey, you mean the Cheesecake Factory, John? Our D-line group?
Maybe.
Whatever you want, it's on the menu. You want a 277-pound nose? You got it. You want a 340-pound nose? You got it. You want a 300-pound end? You want a 225-pound end? We got it. Almost impossible, Jack, for an opponent to prepare for in terms of, to your point, John, all the different body types, the waves of kids you can run through in a humid environment. Jack, you mentioned the word dominate. Got a slight goosebumps over here. And when we're talking O-line versus D-line, Notre Dame O-line versus Notre Dame D-line, I think our D-line gave our O-line some fits throughout the course of fall camp. And one thing that we like to really, John, might be our specialty, is just kind of peeling apart the nuanced narratives in Notre Dame land. Say that 3 times fast. There's been a shift there in terms of like going into camp across the board, the Greg McElroys of the world. We had the #1 offensive line unit. You lose Jagasaw. And I just feel like it started to shift that confidence, swing a little bit more over to the D-line. Being a little bit bold here, Jack, sometimes you know this, dude. Sometimes things hit me and I can't shake them. I'm sitting there and I got to do the picks to click on Patreon. I'll give you some games to bet if you're into that kind of thing. I don't know if Miami scores an actual touchdown, right? They might kick a few field goals. And I can almost assure you, I'm thinking like shutout-ish first half. It's going to be a low-scoring first half given breaking in quarterbacks. Their quarterback missed the spring. I mean, I could absolutely forecast a first half shutout. Because I see it and I can't unsee it.
Mike, I'm curious if Notre Dame shuts out Miami in the first half, or let's just say Miami brings 2 field goals, does not score a touchdown in the first half. What we know about Miami culturally as a program is they quit. They quit.
Shut it down.
What do you think will happen if that's the case in the first half? What do you think the second half looks like, both from Notre Dame and Miami? Just because what we know about the program is culturally, there's quite the difference between what Notre Dame's doing and then what Miami's doing when it's a hard-fought battle.
Yeah, I mean, the culture at Notre Dame is different, whereas Miami brought in 19, 20 transfers. Miami's program is built on bullish and hype. And they're still chasing ghosts from 20 years ago, right? When I was a recruit, right, coming out of high school. They're still trying to get back to being that. And yes, if you don't have a culture and you're kind of a fake tough guy, everybody's got a plan. Mike Tyson, great quote. Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. And I think that fan base, pretty ill-informed, Jack. Let's be honest, right? I don't think they're as diehard as a lot of us are over here. But I think that they're thinking Notre Dame is a bunch of slow white guys from my era. And things have changed. I mean, that program has the type of athletes, the length, and just the explosiveness. Like, they don't realize, they think Jalen Sneed is name a white linebacker from 5 to 10 years ago. They have no idea. So I think the speed is going to be really eye-opening for them early on in that game.
I mean, they could ask Georgia what happened. What did Georgia do the first play of scrimmage where they ran outside and Adon Schuler and Jalen Sneed blow up 2 blocks, tackle for loss, first play of the game. I think
Throw that out.
The same. And who's more athletic? If we're going to go into athleticism, I know Carson Beck didn't play that game, but in terms of athletes around him, Miami does not have the athletes on the outside. The running back, Mark Fletcher, their starting running back, a physical dude, but not that athletically. If you talk about straight up athletes, Georgia was a much more athletic team last year than Miami this year. And Notre Dame was faster than them. So imagine what the difference is going to be this Sunday. I feel confident. I mean, of course, like any Notre Dame fan, it's the Irish anxiety. I'm nervous. Come Sunday, I'll be, struggling throughout the day, but the logic just brings me back that Notre Dame's a much better team on paper. And then if you look at coaching staffs, I think there's a huge gap. So Yeah, extremely pumped. And yeah, I can't wait. I've been also looking forward to this show for so long. We've been talking about it for some time of like what the future could look like on this Patreon, and I'm excited for what comes next tonight.
Yeah, Jack, you joining it's been a real blessing. It's been a joy, not only for you to help us 40-year-olds out with the technology and the marketing and all that, but I got to tell you, Jack, it's a compliment. That first show where you came on and then you started breaking down Miami in detail, like to the point, different position groups, nailing strengths and weaknesses. Jack, when the show ends and I pick up my phone and I start getting a bunch of texts and DMs saying, that kid, I couldn't believe it. Like, it's just great to get that amount of information that quickly, tell us what we need. Like, that's a compliment to you. So keep doing what you're doing. And I'm glad we locked you up and you're with us, because even just that little Miami preview, people love, man.
Oh, I'm so excited for the season. To everyone that's joined recently, thank you for joining us. I know that we've gained a little over 100 people in the last 3 weeks. So if you haven't joined, or you don't know any, or if you know people that haven't joined yet, please, tell them to. Code ND25, 50% off their first month. Great things building. Like I said before, the film breakdown, worth the price of admission. The podcast, worth the price of admission. And the people you get to talk to on a daily basis in terms of like the message board function, where it's really like a big group chat with all your boys talking Notre Dame football. And you get access to Mike Goolsby all the time, like in a chat, a former captain at Notre Dame, where you can ask a question in the middle of the day and he'll get back to you like pretty soon after. It's a special place to be. I can't wait to see where it grows. Exciting times, pumped up.
Yeah, it's good. The chat's good for you, John. We're learning a lot about microplastics and all things health related. Our chat, it's non-toxic. It's a non-toxic formula. We've even got a rule in there. It's a nice rule. If you wouldn't say it to somebody's face, don't say it at all. But now if it does spark up, we got a separate chat. It's called the parking lot. You guys go settle it in the parking lot. So if somebody wants to argue, you leave the main chat and you go into your little mini chat. It's again, that idea, 2-3 nights ago, crowdsourced, came from our people. Hey, this is what we ought to do. We'll give it to you. So yeah. It's been a blast, Jack. I'm thrilled to have you on the team, man. You've done an amazing job, brother.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited to be here.
It's going to be exciting. And Jack, you're going to play a critical role here and people are going to get to know you. It's been a blessing. So thanks for believing in what we're doing and wanting to be a part of it, and kind of seeing the vision here and helping create and grow the future. Thank you.
The best crew in the space, and it starts with you too. So yeah, thank you for having me. So thankful to be a part of this thing. And I can't imagine what it's going to be like a year from now. It's only up from here.
Man, this is going to be great. Thanks a lot, Jack. Appreciate you.
Thanks, guys.
All right. So we have one more big introduction for you of a team member. And then keep in mind, we may even have another surprise later in the week with even more good news. So with no further ado, here we go. Who's this?
How about
it's Coach Tim Hyde. He's here.
I love it.
How about it?
How are we doing? Am I good?
You're all good, baby.
All right, there we go. I had to turn my volume up a little bit. So I'm sitting here in this green room. I got Goolsby shutting out Miami. I got Notre Dame's not chasing ghosts, even though they haven't won a title in 50 years, but that's okay. Now we got people in the parking lot arguing. This is a hell of the last 15 minutes. I'm enjoying this. So I'm like, man, when Goolsby said shut out Miami, I was like, woo, he's hot tonight, hot. So
I can't help what creeps into my mind, Tim. I can't help it. Right?
Yeah,
it's something I could see, but Tim.
Okay, but the coach in me, all I can see is a guy slip and someone's going 70. So that's what I see, way too often. But
that's fair. So a big theme of the night, Tim, has been giving the folks what they want. And you and I have worked together for a few years now, sparingly, Tim. But, you and I linking up, talking ball, giving Coach Hyde a chance to talk some damn ball. People have been clamoring for it for years, and better late than never, Tim. Thanks for being a part of the team, brother.
Yeah, I mean, let's just jump right into this thing. It's like when I started doing the after game, with Singer in 21, I remember I got that call from Mike because Goolsby hated doing that. Let's just be honest. He even says, yeah, I hated that thing. The pressure of that event, I loved it. It was a lot of fun. And then Goolsby transitioned to a Sunday night show. But I know John was just talking about Jared being up late at night. And it's funny, Goolsby and I started, there literally must be tens and tens of thousands of text messages of just videos of just like, hey man, did you see this clip? So we've been doing this for 4 years, going back and forth of just watch this guy, check out this guy. He would send me some random one of Riley Mills getting double teamed and 8 yards downfield or whatever. And then we would break it down. He would do that, and then I would sit and argue with him about Marist. He would bitch about Marist Leofow, and I'm like, dude, he's actually doing what's assigned to him, blah, blah, blah. And then we get into those types of arguments. And I think one of the most fun nights we ever had, well, not watching the game, was when Caleb won the Heisman. Just some of the things I remember going back and forth that night, and just some of the most atrocious defensive calls that we felt. Just giant holes all over the place got exposed. So we've been doing this for years, and it's really like the last two where we're just like, man, when are we ever just gonna watch film together? I mean, we would do shows, with Blue and Gold, obviously, and they were just massive. They were the biggest shows out there. And I would, and Goolsby and I would always ask, why aren't you ever letting us just do a freaking show together? Just let us own the space. And just have fun. I felt like every time we would get together, it would just be huge because people would like the bickering or the back and forth, the banter, the agreement, or not so much disagreement, just two guys talking football. And we never got that. We would just never get that. And that I think became frustrating as could be. And then this off season, as I've told Mike many times, was just, to me, boring, dragged on. I didn't feel like we were doing enough football. It felt like we were just searching most of this off season. And Goolsby's been talking to me forever, just like, hey, come on, let's do this. And then finally, even going back to it, you guys talking about Jared, it's like, as Goolsby knows, I'm up late. I don't sleep. It's like, my dad passed away a couple years ago, and my dad's favorite movie of all time is Conan the Barbarian. And there's a line when Conan's wife dies, and she was like, do you want to live forever? As the ghost comes back to Conan speaking, get your ass up and live. Hey, you sleep when you're dead. And my dad would always mention that to me all the time. So yeah, we got Conan references now breaking in, but
I'm a big Arnold guy. So yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, seriously, I can't tell you how many times we watched that thing. My dad actually had like the 8-foot replica sword that he had at the end of the movie in his house. Don't ask me how he got it, but he ended up buying one. But long story short is just film. Just want to watch film, want to talk football with people, like actually get into things instead of just talking against the wall, so to speak, but literally just diving into film. I've heard you guys talk about what do the fans want? Hey, let's bounce ideas and do things. But I'm up. Long story short, real quick, is I'm up late so much. I do so much football film. It's like I have stacks, as Goolsby knows, of just notes from watching. I'm breaking down Notre Dame while I'm coaching as well, but I'm doing because it's just so much fun to do. So I'm excited as high hell, basically, just as Goolsby says, Tim, boom, take over, start creating stuff as a football coach with film. And that's what really excites the hell out of me.
I got to jump in, Tim. And that was the frustrating part for me as your football buddy. I'm like, John, he's already doing all the work. He's doing it regardless. So it's like, let's get you a platform where you can share with people. Yeah. And you've been a coach for 30 years. Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong. You're not coaching this season.
No,
for the first time in a long time.
First time. I've been on the sideline for 29 straight years, and just decided I was a head coach for 10 years, and then just been basically settling in with the kids the last few years, coaching up here in the Lake Life in New Hampshire since that crazy COVID hit and just shook up the world. And we moved out here, bought a home, and raising the kids. And I just want to do football, as I told the wife. I just want to do football, have fun, raise the kids, do some football on the side, and enjoy life. And I think that's what we're going to be doing together.
Yeah. And Tim, what I love about this is your like obsession with the film and the breakdowns, and just you're so football-y. I love the idea. You got the login for the StreamYard system.
Yeah.
Whenever you get that little thing that creeps up on you and you're like, I have something in my brain I need to talk through, pull out that 8 inches of notes you got, hit record at 2 a.m. And when I wake up, I'll see that video and we'll turn it around and it'll go on Patreon. I want you to do wherever your Notre Dame mind takes you, do it. I want you to feel free to just let it rip on whatever you want to do, man. This is the place for that.
Yeah, no, that's a great thing, because that's exactly what I want to do. It's, as I told Mike, it's like, instead of texting him at 1 a.m, I'm just going to jot it down in a little 10-minute video short and post it and communicate with people. And I know you guys are saying how much fun the interaction is with people, and I think that's awesome. I think that's awesome, just to be able to get feedback, or if there's probably going to be so many questions once the season gets going. It's like, that's what we're here to do, is give our opinions, our answers, find things, look into the film, as Goolsby talks about so much. And that's what's really exciting. I know Jared's going to do the offense. Mike wants me to do the defense, and I'm going to dive into the defense and have a hell of a lot of fun with that. As I told Mike, obviously I'm an O-line freak. So once a week, I'm going to dive into some sort of an O-line thing for everyone as well, just to talk about that. And that's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. And just to see what these guys are doing. I'm a big Joe Rudolph fan. I know Goolsby's the 50-50. I think he's one of the top coaches in the country, and he's got the record that shows it. So I'm very excited to break this down and see what these guys are doing, because, man, just hell, let's talk O-line for 2 seconds. It's like, who the hell is the guys behind them? That's what scares the hell out of me. We knew 2 years ago when they went with, Rocco and Pat, we knew Billy and Ashton had a lot of talent. There was just, probably not there yet. And you guys always hear me talk about year 3. Rocco and Pat were in year 3. Well, then last year, obviously, they went with, Pendleton and Ashton. And then you got the old, the 2 old gray hairs on the sidelines in Rocco and Pat. And then obviously those guys were badly needed last season, coming in and starting 12, 13 games, whatever it was. So who are those guys this year is going to be fascinating. We sit here and we talk about recruiting rankings, and all these guys are hyped up, and, oh, Notre Dame is so deep. Man, they're still young as hell a lot of places. I think that's what's going to be fascinating, to see some of these spots. And hell, let's also jump into did Goolsby? Hold on. Did Mike
Tim, let me get a word in. Let me get a word in.
Because I want to get on your ass here in a minute. So let's go.
That's fine. I think the void with you not having a team to coach and you marrying up with us on Patreon, I think, again, John, back to like totally organic.
Yeah.
You might drive your wife nuts, right? So it's like, this gives you an outlet, and I think the timing of it's perfect. Speaking about your O-line, let's not go too far down this path, but I think timing factors for the O-line, because Tim, all of your backups, I feel like it's going to be Lambert at guard, right guard, and then you've got a backup in Absher, who's an interior guy.
Yeah.
So then who are your backups if your left tackle goes down? Maybe Will Black, but then he's working in at guard. And that's the stuff that drives me nuts about Coach Rudolph. I get it, but it's such a natural fit. And then when does Jags come back to the timing? So does he step in, and then Goolsby now becomes your swing tackle? So I think a lot of the backups, it's just going to come down to the timing of Jagasaw getting healthy and the fingers crossed that nobody goes down, because the tackle backups, you've got Black, who's playing guard now, head scratcher, and you've got a Goolsby that could play tackle, and he's playing guard. So it's endlessly fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, just real quick, it's actually, we don't have to be real quick. I'm so used to saying that for 4 years, as we had to get, and I felt like I had 12 seconds to say something all the time.
Welcome to Patreon.
Oh my God, actually, yeah. I mean, just talk about a moment right there, right? It's like, no, we can sit here and talk, right? So Yeah, the O-line, the whole Will Black thing's fascinating because I think they were looking more of just trying to get him on the field somewhere somehow. But maybe is Lambert? I mean, Lambert's obviously, him and Apsher have been playing right guard so much. If Knapp, Wagner played so much football last year, exactly. Who is that third tackle? You would think it's Gerby Lambert. He could go probably play a right. I mean, let's just say Miami. Wagner's got to miss 2 series. Does he go to right tackle and they insert Apsher? Who knows? I will say one thing. Just watching the practice videos and the clips that are out there, dude, Matty Augustine's a monster. He looks so much bigger than Will Black. I know Will Black gets all the hype and all that. Will Black to me looks like a skinny little guy who needs to lift, eat, get his butt kicked a little bit, and then we'll see what happens. So Matty Augustine looks way bigger, more ready to play, especially he was here in the spring. And he was one of the biggest surprises I felt in the spring game. I didn't know what to expect because I thought he was a skinny little rail in high school. And then in the spring game, I was like, holy crap, he's huge out there and looked athletic as hell. So Will Black coming in so late, hell, maybe they give him an 88 jersey, right? And go out there and, well, that's actually Mookum, but no, he can play on offense. And do what Joe Alt did his freshman year where Joe was wearing 45 and blocking before he got inserted at left tackle. So we'll see right there. But I want to jump on your ass, as I said, just to have fun. You said A- for wide receivers? A-.
Don't quote me on that. I threw my note in the trash, but I think I did.
A-. A-. So let me think. You got Fields. There's no Richmond on this schedule. So let's just jump at that right away.
We're not playing the Spiders, correct?
We're not playing the Spiders. Big body. I like him. He's huge. I've mentioned multiple times, him and Raritan are like 2 monsters. They've got just bodies, wingspan, the catch radius, a young quarterback back there pissing his pants, man. Just throw that thing up to some of those 2 guys at times and let them go make some plays. And then, Mike, my humble opinion, I think it's a team of slots. Who the hell's playing outside? I mean, Faison's a slot body. Greathouse is a slot. Greathouse, I'll be curious if he could play outside. I heard Jared thought he could play outside. They tried that in 23, and he just got dog smacked all season long. So trying to play outside. He went games without even a catch. Someone in the chat says KK Smith. I mean, come on. We've heard KK Smith's the next Will Fuller for 3 years, and he's like the 7th guy right now. So I don't know where he lands. So I'm still curious what this wide receiver room is going to be on the outside. That's why I think it's going to be those 4 are going to play 90% of the snaps this year.
Just to give you a retort, whether it was 4-3 last year, Chris Mitchell.
Oh, yeah.
You and I always had a nice chuckle about that. And Bo Collins.
You texted me, hold on. Like his first press conference, I didn't even listen to it yet. And you had sent me a text like 12 seconds after it was done saying, you got to listen to this press conference. Tell me how he was talking about he was a 4-3 guy.
Alluding that he could be faster than 4-3.
Yes. Yeah. Did he say he's faster than 4-3? Okay.
But I watched his film, and again, just getting into ball, I'm looking at like his stride length, and I'm like, no way, man. No way.
I agree.
So to your point, yes, I agree. I said that earlier in the episode that, you have 3 kind of slot type players in terms, especially their body type. But Jaden will go up and get the ball. We've seen it. Had 1 drop last year or whatever. It was like 15 contested catches or something. You're the stats guy, Tim.
Yeah.
And I think Faison will compete for a ball. I think Faison's your best route runner. But what I get excited about the group, who your starting 4 is, and specific to last year with Collins and Mitchell, Pauling and Fields, I mean, they're in another stratosphere, Tim.
Yeah.
They are 2 ex-captains.
I agree.
But when we talk about 5-6, whether it's a Cake or I believe Gilbert or, Burris is getting some love, I think that for us to be able to tap into the 5-6, that's what gets me into the A-, and it might have been a B+. I frankly, I don't remember. John, go ahead.
Tim, do you agree with that? Like, I'm looking at there seems to be a little bit more to work with. Like and then when you add a Fields and a Pauling in there with the guys coming back that were like homegrown, I just feel like there's a little more to work with the group overall. And I think it's going to matter. You're going to have a quarterback more comfortable and natural getting the ball to them. So like when I think about that wide receiver group, I'm also thinking you're going to have a guy that's a lot should be better at throwing the football. So I think that like gives me more confidence than I've had in the last couple of years.
Yeah, and then let's be brutally honest, we have no freaking clue. I mean, we have.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. I mean, this is
Yeah.
be honest as hell. We have no clue. Someone, yes, Tom, right there. The only difference is we have a bona fide, big talent, accurate throwing quarterback that can get the ball to the receiver.
Here we go. Here we
We
go.
don't know that. We don't know that. Seriously, we don't know that. We don't know that. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what's going to be. We're fingers crossed, hoping that we see that, but we really do not know, because when you read all of these reports and you hear the media and all this stuff going back and forth with the QB thing, dude, I mean, let's be brutally honest, man. I'm one of those guys who likes to read between the lines as a coach. I mean, they're flipping coins. I felt like sometimes with some of the comments, or just trying to, this source is saying this source that, and I mean, who the hell knows? I felt like the fact that it was this guy and then this guy, and then it kept going in circles, and then it just went CJ Carr, was like, I felt like they just threw a dart at the end. They just went, threw the damn dart against the board.
Tim,
let's see what happens.
When you say you don't know, is it physically, or is it like putting it all together and doing all the things you got to do to make the right reads and is it that part that comes with the inexperience, but physically, he can make all the throws? So when you say you don't know, is it like you're waiting to see more of the arm, or is it the environment? How's he going to handle the pressure, the bright lights, like reacting to something bad or good happening? Or is it all of it?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I went back and rewatched just the spring game a couple days ago, and just the interception he throws to Ben Minnick, who's like the fourth nickel on the roster, and he's just flat-footed, leaning back, and just chucked it up. And then you hear all the reports about so many of his interceptions are him just throwing the ball up. Now he's trying to have a wide receiver make a play. So he's trying to, he's definitely more of that. Hey, bam, get it up there, go make a play, help me out. So those are cool on a Tuesday at 3:30 in the afternoon. You're talking about, 9:00 at night here in Miami on Sunday night. So that's going to be a different thing. So, we could say he's got the talent, he's got the tools, all that. I still think it's only going to be those 4 wide receivers. I just do. Micah Gilbert's a true boundary guy. They're going to play Fields 99% of the snaps over Gilbert. The Fields a massive question mark. And then you're going to go 2 wide receivers. So you go 2 running backs, using Love out of the backfield more as a motion guy, using him as a guy to get the ball to. Well, that automatic, you're going to take out the outside receiver. You're going to take out the field receiver, keep your boundary in your slot to do different formations in that realm right there. So that's what I see. When I don't know how many guys are going to go down the depth chart. Cam is like the 10th wide receiver. KK Smith, who knows? Elijah Burris may have gotten all the hot hype from certain media people out there, but then you hear Mike Denbrock is like, shit, the guy doesn't know what the hell he's doing. So I think it was him or Brown. Someone said it's Denbrock. He was kind of pissed on the Cheerios, where he's like, he's still learning where to line up. So that was Tobias Merriweather the entire freshman year. Hell, that was the Cal game. Remember in the Cal game, he's going back and forth on the motion, and Stuckey was about ready to just rip his head off. He didn't know clue what he was doing in the game. So that's what I feel with Elijah when you read between some of the lines and things of that going out there. But go ahead, man.
I think regardless, yes, you don't know what the finished product looks like. I'm fascinated by CJ's psyche, because he's been under an immense amount of pressure, I think, trying to live up to the hype. Because this is, John, if CJ holds that job down, I feel like we're entering a golden era of Notre Dame football with a golden boy quarterback. And maybe that's the way it ought to be, but there's an immense amount of pressure, and I'm curious to see how he deals with that stress in that environment. Nevertheless, and we saw this on the film breakdown, there was guys open last year, and Riley was an unwilling thrower. He just Ian Book style, just couldn't quite let himself just get over that mental hurdle. I think whether it was a Carr, whether it was a Minch, you're going to have a more willing thrower. Do we know what the final product is? No, but I can sleep at night knowing you've got a guy that's at least willing to push the ball. He might turn it over, Tim, but he'll let it go.
Yeah, and turnovers are what kill you. So let's just be honest with that. I mean, I said this on one of my shows, and people lost their mind. I'm like, do not be surprised if you see 13, 15 picks. I mean, seriously, just don't be surprised. That's easily can happen. And people are like, oh my God, losing their minds. I'm like, it's been a ton of vets have been playing. I mean, Freeman has had the giant luxury, let's just be brutally honest, of the transfer portal. He hasn't had to just play who's on the roster. The portal is opened up everything for him, his program, where Notre Dame is night and day compared to past coaches. So he's been able to go out and get those guys, just at least give him some help. And you're so right. Riley was never, damn man, Riley should be playing this year. He played in 6 or 7 games as a freshman, all scrub time, threw a handful of passes, burned his red shirt because Duke went 0-8 in conference that year. He played on a Duke team that went 0-8, and he's playing in scrub time, burning his red shirt. So he should be a 5th-year guy, Heisman front runner, Notre Dame preseason #1. That's where we would be if stupid-ass Duke didn't burn him. But going back to the Golden Boy, let's just go back to Holtz to now. There's only been 3 of them.
I love where you're going, Tim. I love where you're going.
Let's see what the chat is. There's only been 3 Golden Boy quarterbacks. Rick Meyer, Ron Paulus, Jimmy Clausen. Everyone else is fill in the blank. It just is. So the amount of pressure, and people in the chat go over all the quarterbacks. Those are 3 Sports Illustrated, front page, front cover. They were all on the damn cover of that.
They sell. It sells, Tim. It sells.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if Sports Illustrated was in the, I know it's all online and everything now with Kennedy and everyone, but if you're getting those things Tuesday afternoon in the mailbox, man, every week religiously, CJ Carr is going to be on the cover of one of these. So when you talk about the Golden Boy, that pressure is immense, just immense. It just is. I mean, we could talk about 1,000 Notre Dame teams. To me, the 1990 team is freaking national champions, man. But Rick Meyer stunk in Penn State and stunk in Colorado in the Orange Bowl, threw 5 picks in those 2 games. They lost 3 games by a field goal, or they're national champs. Ron Paulus, obviously, the horrible 1994 season coming off at that team, the depth has started to go down. And then Clausen was just in the middle of all that post-Willingham shit show that he had to deal with. He had the great junior year, but man, all the other quarterbacks are not – the pressure's just got to be insane. You got a redshirt quarterback who played – I think he took 2 knees against Purdue last year, redshirted the rest of the year with a bad elbow, and now he's starting at Miami. Not only Miami, damn it, this is the 4th straight game Notre Dame Miami have played in Miami, top 10 matchup. 87, 89, 17, and 25. That's a hell of a lot of pressure. But
let me ask you guys this. And maybe this is too obvious, but I'm going to ask it just in case maybe there's a disagreement. On the morning show today, I was talking about Notre Dame Miami. I think including both sides of this, looking at both teams, isn't CJ Carr the big storyline here? Is that not the biggest moving factor to you guys? Because to me, that's it. All of America's looking at that kid. I think that's the biggest storyline on both sides of the ball is how does he handle this environment? And can Notre Dame, the parts of Notre Dame that are more developed, support him to get through this without having to be perfect and feel like you got to do everything? Don't you agree? I think he's the main storyline on both sides.
Tim, let me go first. Any redshirt freshman, and Tim just gave you the breakdown, CJ Carr's last 12 months, right? He's hurt all last year. He's playing safety on the scout team. Any other redshirt first-time starting quarterback, the expectations would be pretty set. It'd be pretty resolute, right? He's just going to be a game manager. He might need to make a throw or 2. But because it's CJ Carr, the golden boy, to Tim's point, we're looking at it differently. Like, we are putting strange expectations on this young man because of the hype. But if it was just your average run-of-the-mill first-time starter, like, you know what the game plan's going to be. We know what the game plan's going to be, but because it's Carr, we're making more out of it than I think is needed, you know?
No, that's a great point. It's he's definitely the big storyline for Notre Dame because we've never seen him play in a game, and obviously he's the hype, the name. We're going to see, you know, Grandpa in the stand 17 times, you know, with the cameras keep panning to him. Beck is obviously a huge story just because, you know, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, Georgia last year, they led the nation in drops. I mean, if they just catch half of those drops, Beck could easily have been a Heisman finalist. Obviously, he got hurt. So, I mean, he was throwing dimes last year. The guy's just dropping passes left and right all over the place. So, you know, he was chucking that ball all over the place last year because their run game was limited. They had injuries. As we saw, that ended up being not your average Georgia team, and Notre Dame took care of them in the Sugar Bowl. So, but the huge storyline is definitely Carr. Tom or someone else in the chat's losing their mind talking about the depth and the look and the stackness. Sure, but it's unproven. It's so many times, and this is what's killed me all offseason with Notre Dame fandom saying, "Oh, we're loaded. We're loaded with a lot of young guys." Seriously, the backup corners are all true freshmen. Their safeties who've never played a snap. We're going to miss Xavier Watts. He is one of the greatest players that ever stepped foot in South Bend. They're going to miss him. Goolsby's way more excited than me at D tackle. That's just my humble opinion. I think they're a bunch of B guys, and we'll see what happens there. The depth at running back, the top two, but then your third guy's hurt. Keedron Young's hurt, and now you got Nolan James as a true freshman. Might have to be the third guy. I don't think, me personally, they're not going to play three. In this game, it's a top 10 game. Love, Price, they're going to rotate those two like hockey game, just back and forth those two. There's no reason to see a third back in this game. So, and the wide receiver, we could talk depth. It's unproven as hell, if you ask me. That's why I keep saying I think the top four are set. I don't know who's outside of that. And, you know, Tom wants to say how loaded this depth is. Who the hell's the number 2 tight end? Who? Nobody.
This is
so I'm just trying to be like, just real quick, going back to Goolsby's expectations, they're high as hell because of the way the team finished last year. Very high. And now you're asking a kid who's never thrown a football in a game to go out there basically win a national championship. I'm gonna be brutally honest. The expectations are national title. They are, right? Because this team is set for this with the talent, a lot of the senior leaders and all that can move on. So it could be a hell of a lot better in 26 if we get a big chunk of these guys coming back. But I mean, Kennedy talks about this nonstop with his callers, like, and I keep hearing, with John's callers, like, oh, I could see a 10-2, but compete for the title. Dude, if you're 10-2, you're the 11 seed. You're the 11 seed. You're going to go play at the number 2 team out of the SEC at home. I mean, you're going to go play at Alabama or Georgia in the first round. You're going to be one and done. I mean, be brutal. I mean, be honest, damn it. It's like, and I don't know if we're looking at that. So when I hear 10-2, but we're going to compete, man, that's tough as shit, if you ask me.
Yeah.
I think something that I've grown to appreciate about Tim is that coach DNA. You tend to operate from like worst case scenario, right?
Oh man,
you're a big. If we win by 1 point, who gives a hoot?
Right?
Just win the game. So that's where Tim's mind lives. Is like, well, what if this happens and what if that happens? Because he's trying to cover his bases as a coach. I've grown to appreciate that. But to your point, and Tim, we're going to get you out of here probably.
That's fine.
Maybe close it on this little conversation. You just hit on something that I don't know if I had the balls to say it, but you were talking about like winning a national championship. And I believe in my soul that we're going to win one, maybe not this year, but the next 2 to 3 years. Like we're in this little window, this golden era. And if we don't, it might be because of quarterback play. Because the youth, the talent, I mean, everything is peaking. And if we don't, it could be because, everything else is set up around it. to a degree, especially for
Sure.
a Notre Dame, right? Sure, there's room to improve at the wide receiver room specifically, but man, if we don't, it could be because of the quarterback play.
Yeah, and I've talked about this a lot. I just always go back to one of the 1990 year with Meyer, going back to some of the points. Exactly, they didn't have the Golden Boys, Paulus and Clausen. They didn't have that group, but those. He threw 3 interceptions in the Orange Bowl. They lose by 1 freaking point. You win that game. Obviously, the Rocket had the punt called back, but they're national champs that year. So it may be a game like that. This team is stacked. Their group, their core group is stacked. There's no doubt about that. They got bodies all over the place. So, we've talked forever about the first 2 games are your hardest games, and this is another thing that kills me. It's like, but you're Notre Dame. So if you're supposed to win a national title, you should beat the 3rd or 4th best team in the ACC, correct? That's Miami. You should go beat the 3rd best team in the ACC. I think Clemson, Louisville, hell, I haven't even paid attention, but Clemson's number 1. Miami's like preseason number 3. A&M, for crying out loud, was the 9th best team in the SEC. So why are we worried about beating A&M this year? Why is that game going to be hard? The 9th best team in the SEC. If you're Notre Dame's a national title team, go out and kick their ass. And then the rest of this season, to me, is Cupcakeville. If you lose at Pitt, shit, man, enjoy the Pop-Tarts Bowl. You're going to lose at Arkansas, the 14th best team in the SEC. That game's treacherous. No. So go out, handle business, and kick ass. How does this team not go 12-0? They don't go 12-0, going back to Goolsby's point, because someone's going to piss their pants somewhere during this season. But the talent, dude, they're favored, and they're favored in 12 games. So if they lose, something didn't go right, obviously, that week.
Tim,
we've seen that happen.
Let me ask you this. This could just be the fan in me. I got this sense that you could go 1-1 and split Miami and A&M, but I got this weird feeling that it's either you're going to go 1-0 and probably then 2-0, or you're going to go 0-1 and maybe 0-2. I have this weird feeling that it's either going to be all put together to get through week 1. You ride the momentum. You have 2 weeks off to relax and get Carr going again, straighten some things out. I have this feeling. I don't like the odds of splitting them. I think you're either going to go 1-0 and 2-0, or something bad's going to happen. That's the feeling I get. It's either put together or it ain't.
Well, this is what kills me. It's like all this Miami. Believe me, I was a young lad when we watched the '89 game, the 2017 games, atrocious. No doubt about that. But Goolsby's famous for this. I know I've heard him say this many times. To a player, none of that shit matters. Goolsby's playing Michigan in 2002. He doesn't care about the game in '86. He doesn't care. He's worried about that game. So to a point, none of that stuff matters. It is all about what we're going to see Sunday night. Dude, I'll lose my mind if they lose on Sunday. Seriously. Is it possible? Of course it's possible. But for where this team is, year 4, the players, hey man, he picked CJ for a reason, right? So he picked him for a reason. Let him go out and play. You can't, Jeremiah loves, you can't nurse him and, you get your 12 touches, you're done. We're going to protect you. Protect him for what? Shit, Audric Estime got protected. He got cut today. Who cares, right? So, his NFL career is now waiting to see what the waiver wire is. So, hey, man, just go play. Go play. Feed that son of a gun. Seriously. Seriously. He should have 22 carries. Probably should have 18. And let's go get after their ass.
I think it comes down to, I've been trying to say touches. It's touches, not necessarily traditional tailback carries. But yeah, 22 is the gold number in my mind. I like 22 that. Touches, could be 18 carries, whatever, a few catches. But we're in complete alignment there, Tim, in that you have a real bona fide star tailback. Run them till the wheels fall off. Top 15 pick. Thank you for your service. But Sunday night, Johnny, with all them eyes watching.
Yeah.
What an opportunity for him to announce himself on a truly, truly national scale.
Well, let's real quick, because Goolsby's talked about this a lot, even on his Twitter. Is I've heard you talk about when does who manages the Heisman? You know who manages
Yes.
the Heisman or wins? When you're at the University of Notre Dame, you win. You win, you're in the race. I mean, Manti Te'o, boom, 12-0, got it. Ian Book. Ian Book was in the top 10. He wasn't a finalist, but shit, he's in the top 10 of Heisman votes. I've always felt it was a huge. I can't believe Riley Leonard was not in the top 10 last year. How did he not get, talked about with the winning streak and him just running the rock down people's throats and scoring touchdowns and stuff like that? Riley Leonard should have been the conversation. So, but for Love, and when you're at Notre Dame, it's all about wins, man. You go out and win, and you handle your business. If they're 1-1, his Heisman could be done. It could be done. So it's fascinating. We're sitting here a couple days away. It's Monday, but and it's like it's nerve wracking. I'm excited as hell. I can't wait to go see those guys play Miami. Just go down there and beat those guys. I've been doing just a little bit of study, and I haven't done as much as Jack. Jack's like an encyclopedia on these guys. He's down there cranking the Hurricane stuff, and his Twitter feed is nothing but Miami breakdowns, man. He's getting hyped out there. So, but the little bit I've seen, it's going to be a good football team, solid team. Wide receivers are question marks, but they're going to have one dude that could just fly. Offensive line is awesome. Defense, real quick on defense, and I've argued with some people on this. People just always like, well, Miami sucked. So did Notre Dame. Mike Elko fixed the defense in one offseason in 2017. Coach here, hell of a background, man. You go back and read and study this D coordinator. I'm not saying they're going to be like top 10 in the country, D, but you could, as a coordinator, you could fix things immediately. Elko did it after the shit show from Ryan Van Gorder. I think this guy's going to fix it and have him playing some good fundamental football. But I will go. Here's my hot take. How do you score 30 with a rookie? That's constantly something I don't see. So I'm going to go 26-17 Notre Dame. Let's take it. It's won by 9. How's that sound?
The over-under total points is 49.5 currently. I tweeted it out earlier today or yesterday. Hammer the under, to Tim's point.
Yeah, you have to.
Hammer the under.
If this thing's over and it turns into arena ball, then dudes are slipping all over the place, especially if it's raining. I haven't really, gone to, weather.com and checked the thing out, but someone's saying to me have rainstorms coming through. So, which means run the damn football. Run the damn football. Run it.
So Tim, John, I was on a call with Coach Freeman prior to this. He does a state of the program address. So I want to walk through that with John a little bit, but yeah, so Tim's role, and I'm so thankful for it. So you're going to do the defensive stuff and I'll probably tag in with you and just create a little bit of discourse as we go through it. But it's your show. And I'm there to learn, quite frankly. I learned a lot with Jared last season. That's me. I never claimed to be an X's and O's guy, guru per se. And then, I think you're going to do some offensive line stuff kind of midweek. And then wherever you want to jump in, and you'll see people put in requests. Hey, Tim, what do you think about this? So it's your world, man. And we're kind of just living in it, dude. So I'm thrilled that we finally pulled this off, man. It's been a long time coming.
And that's going to be fun. That's something, just put my thoughts down on a video and just post it out there for people. We've always done that in a chat or a text or with my buddies talking ND and obviously with you all the time. But yeah, just to be able to just put that on a little video.
I can't do solo. I can't do solo. I've tried to do just talk to myself. I literally cannot do it. So maybe you can.
Well, we're going to find out. We're going to find out. It's going to be, that's going to be interesting. I'm literally probably just going to sit there and just talk to the wall. Maybe I'll put the volleyball from Castaway.
Wilson.
Right, and exactly. Wilson. I'm just going to sit there and talk to him, see if he talks back. and just communicate and put some thoughts down on a video. I think that'll
You
be a
get
lot.
used to talking to yourself after a while. I'm so used to talking to myself. I'm seeing my own ghost. You'll get used to it. It's like, Tim, I swear, I love that you have the freedom to just record whatever. And I'm going to log in the morning and see a video from you on offensive line, this, defense, that, like whatever you want to do, full freedom, run with it, brother. Run with it.
I'm going to use the restroom real quick, but Tim, thanks for joining, man. I had 2 of these while we're live here.
All right, I'll chat with John for 2 minutes real quick. No, it's like your whole show, John. It's like total just, you're right. Talking to the screen, listening to the callers, which is a blast, but that's what's been so fun. I know talking to Goolsby about, how he's been doing the Patreon. He loved doing the film last year, which is fascinating because so much of where he's at now is literally based off of Sam Hartman. Just like Sam Hartman. We would text back and forth so much that season. And I was, and as a coach, sometimes I like to defend scenarios and personnel and all that. I was just like, man, I always thought Chad and Marcus did Hartman wrong. That's my opinion on the 2023 season. They bring in this quarterback who's throwing it 40 times a game, throwing for all those touchdowns and yards in the ACC, but he's a thrower, and he's out there throwing to Rico freaking Flores. They had no pass attack until the lacrosse guy shows up in the Louisville game.
Yeah.
And then before that, he's out there throwing to Jaden Thomas and trying to get Colsey some reps. So that was the whole gist of obviously Goolsby getting into the film more and more was Sam Hartman, man. That's the reasoning for all that. And it's fun. I'm really excited before I jump off real quick. See what time it is. I know you guys got some things to talk about. It's just it is exciting when you got a brand new quarterback like this, man. I like that. We haven't really talked too much I felt like the offseason talk was about all of them, right? Especially way too much when it got to Angeli. Let's be honest as hell, wasted time on that. But the whole Carr thing and now the Golden Boy. But at the same time, man, Kenny's nipping right there, and he's one broken shoelace away from Carr spraining an ankle, and Kenny's the guy. So I think they got 2 quarterbacks. I've been on record for the last 2 months thinking I think we're going to see both of them having to play and lead Notre Dame to wins this year. That's my little opinion.
I think it's inarguable.
Yeah.
Man, well, this is going to be great, you guys. I can't wait to get it going. Like, there's just a lot of build up, and we're building a great team here. And as soon as we get this first data set from Miami, it'll kind of tell us what level we're starting all this at. And then we're going to have 2 weeks to be able to consume it and break it down and process it before A&M comes to town. So we're going to enjoy the rest of this week, all the excitement and the build up. And then we can't wait to get into all the new stuff we have going on. Tim, thanks for joining us, man. Everybody's people have asked for you to join more and be a part of this. And we have a little rhythm here that's pretty good. And we're happy to have you, Tim. Thank you.
Oh yeah. I just on that, I've gotten so many messages the last year. I told Goolsby this. I haven't been on LinkedIn forever, and I've got 15 messages from just fans out there saying, "Hey, love your show. Love when you and Mike get together. Me and Goolsby get together and talk." I have so many of those. And then this whole off season, everyone's always asked, "Where's Goolsby? Where's Goolsby? When are you guys getting together?" And I'm like, I'm not saying anything. It's not my show. Blah blah blah. All that. So obviously we're here, for a reason. So, but I'm excited as could be. People have been out talking about it for a long time, just talking back and forth, having fun. My takes are. I know Goolsby's not a cookie cutter. I'm definitely not. As much as I love Notre Dame, I'll be brutally honest when it gets there. So I think that's fun. I think that's where we're at. And at the end of the day, let's win a goddamn national championship.
And there will be, and there will be a natural, once you're behind the paywall, like the level of comfort, John, I don't know quite how to say that. But you feel a little bit more freedom.
It's freedom
to say what you really want to say.
Yeah, it's freedom. Yeah.
That's the closing thought, Tim. I'm cutting you off.
No, go for
That
it.
was my motivating thing. Another one motivating factor, like, was to get on the Patreon and kind of sell John on the idea, was like, it got really tiresome to go do a song and dance on YouTube and then get like scorched. I'm like, this isn't worth it to me, right? It stopped being fun for me. It's like, do you want takes or not? So behind the paywall, it's like, I hate to use the word safer because it makes me sound soft.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's definitely more freedom to give your opinion on something and not have people go scorched earth on you.
And for the amount of money people spend on message boards, just being able to do that, I'm like, how do you just not want to come talk real football, watch real film, ask real questions, and get real responses from people that have done nothing but football their entire lives?
That's right.
You know,
Tim,
see
I
ya.
love it. 6 more days, brother, and we will get you the film and you can
Hey, I'll be honest. Kennedy, I was like, I'm nervous as hell. So I've been sweating. I'm just nervous because we got to play and then we got to wait 2 more weeks. What the hell? So it's like, it's going to drive me nuts, but I'm excited as hell. Top 4 finish. They're going to get a bye. We're going to kick ass and have fun this season.
Woo. I love it. Thanks a lot, Tim. We'll talk to you.
See you guys.
All right, John. Before we move on, let's catch our collective breath. And I do want to share with people our schedule, kind of our itinerary, the menu, as it were.
Yep.
What to expect this season from Goolsby and Kennedy. So John's going to keep doing his post-game call-in show. Tim is all for jumping in, maybe, right to kick the thing off, pop in for 20 minutes on big games. I might jump on, Jack might jump on, but just really try to have a presence in that. Real quick, get in and out, not step on your callers, maybe give you some things to talk about. That's your Saturday typically. Sunday night, I'm going to keep doing the Mike Goolsby show, John. To hell with it.
Yep.
Right? Host to be named later, ... Co-host, rather.
Yep.
And I'm sure go ahead, John. Sorry.
Yeah, make sure everybody knows that. That's going to be on the YouTube channel. So we're, we have the Monday Night Raw. We're going to do there. This is going to be Sunday evening on the Always Irish YouTube channel. I'm not going to be on air. Johnny boy, people need a break from me. I'm going to be off air, and it's going to be Mike and then maybe a guest and maybe a different one once in a while. So the Goolsby show's coming back to YouTube. That's for sure.
That's big. And again, we're talking with Tim about a void, and him not coaching any longer creates a natural void. We can help fill that for him. And I thought it was important. YouTube, On3, Singer got me to this point. And that's like, hey, I still want to have a presence on YouTube. So bank on that. Monday nights, we're back behind the paywall. Monday Night Raw. It's only a matter of time till we get dinged for that, John. But that's a wide open chat. That's John and I. And the inception of that is, forget a $20 super chat, pay your monthly subscription, ask all the questions you want till you're blue in the face. That is once John and I get over our little song and dance, but that's basically a free for all, wide open chat. We talked about the film breakdown. Coach Jared Clark's going to do your offense. I sit in with him just to try to ask some smart questions, maybe from a fan perspective. That'll leak out early in the week. Think Monday, Tuesday. Tim's going to do the same defensively. Hopefully he lets me sit in with him because, again, I've got stuff to learn. And then Tim's going to roll out offensive line specific, probably midweek, mid to late week. I don't know what that's going to look like, John, but I'm excited for it. And then if that's not enough, Friday, Jack's going to be doing an opponent preview behind the paywall with a co-host soon to be named.
Yeah.
So again, the team's
still got one more, you guys.
Yeah,
we still got one more later in the week to add to the roster here on the team. We're not done yet.
And then last but not least, I'm going to be did it last season, picks to click. I'll probably give you 5 games or so, college games, first half lines, unders. I guess stay away from prop bets, but per our people at Patreon, I was 70+%. Jay Carr, I think, actually is going to track me this year, so tons of pressure. But that's your menu thus far. It's all subject to change because, again, we're trying to give you all what you want. and you're helping us. We've curated the team. You guys help us curate the content, John.
Yeah. And what I really like about it, Mike, is it is so well-rounded. We have player experience at Notre Dame. We have decades of coaching experience. We have X and O expertise. We have a dedicated recruiting expert on board. And it's all wrapped in whatever you call the always Irish community, family, that whole vibe.
Notre Dame fans.
Everything is kind of wrapped together here. But you and I always talked about, Mike, you said if we're going to do this right, we need to give people a reason to not leave us to go get any part of this anywhere else. And you were like, we need to hit all the bases. And I think this roster, and with the addition in the free agency, we may work here later in the week. I think we're able to do that. And I'm very, very proud of it. And it's an honor to have these people that have credibility in the space to want to join us and be with these people. That's an honor. I love it.
Yeah, I think it's me personally. It's just, and Jared is like, I'd put him up there in terms of the best teammates, best people. I'd put like him and Shane Walton. I mean, just in terms of like just being amazing people. And it's two former players that were actually classmates, teammates. You know, he was played under Den Brock, and I was a captain, and then Hyde with his experience. And I just think I want to keep banging that drum that all of us on the team are actual Notre Dame fans. And I really want to believe that in this, you know, we're not corporate. We're just two idiots in our basement trying to grow this thing. I really hope that matters to people.
Yeah.
That you're an actual fan. You live and die with this stuff.
Yeah. I think Notre Dame's such a special thing to the people that are into it. You feel that. And you feel you sometimes you just want somebody that you know understands exactly where you're coming from to let it rip. And that's kind of how I got my start. I was just trying to say what the regular fans think without a bunch of I'm talking at you or telling you what you should think. I just wanted to share what I think Notre Dame fans were feeling. And it's been a long, long journey. But Mike, I'm proud of this, and I'm very, very grateful that our paths crossed. We are similar in enough ways, but different in enough ways that it really does make for a good blend here. And this is an exciting ride. And I think this year is going to be a big year for the program and for our program, quite frankly.
Yeah. And I'm proud of you. And like, I just kind of kicked this show off, you know, trusting in this without quite knowing what it was going to turn into. And maybe we close it out on this, John. I lost my train of thought naturally. But yeah, trust without knowing what it was going to turn into. And yes, that's what I was going to say. We're not done yet. I think that's important. We're not done.
Yeah. And you always push, Mike, and you are the captain on the field and in real life. You're always pushing me to think bigger, do more, keep pushing it. And I love you for that. So you guys, thank you very much. We were excited to do this tonight. And I will post more, like get a post up with the exact schedule of all of our programming so you could keep it straight. That'll be on Twitter. I'll put it on the Patreon. And we're going to have a lot for you guys. You want Notre Dame content, you're going to get it here. So thanks to everybody that's joined. It's been a blessing. New people joining. We're one big dysfunctional Irish family, and it is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Have a good one, everybody. We'll see you. Notre Dame football's back.